to another Code Wars service. Today we're going to solve the valid spacing algorithm on Code Wars, which is a 7Q kata. Now let's get to understand the problem. I'll try to read it very fast. Your task is to write a function called valid spacing, or valid spacing without the underscore, which checks if a string has valid spacing. The function should return true or false. For this kata, the definition of spacing is one space between words and no leading or trailing spaces. Below are some of the examples. You can see that. So I'm going to start by solving the very basic case, like there shouldn't be a leading or trailing space, meaning if there's a space in the beginning or at the end, it's automatically false. So I can do that simply iteratively. So if the first character of our string is equal to an empty space, I can just return false. Same thing if the last character is as that length at the index as is length -1, something like that. If it's equal to an empty space, I return false. That's it. Now the next scenario will be to count the number of words, and let's take this case. The first case, there are 2 words and there is 1 space, so we just count the number of words and we count the number of spaces. If we subtract and the difference is 1, then we have a correct number of spacing. Like you see, this case here is false because there should be more than 1 space here. You can see when I manipulate my cursor, you see it's more than 1 space. So how do we count the number of spaces or words? If I take this example here, which is false, and let me just open the node server so that I can script that. So if I split that word by a space, you see we get an array of 3 elements, and this is an empty space here. If the word was correctly written like this, we are going to have just 2 elements, but here we have 3. So we're going to use this approach to get the number of words. So how do I do that? Firstly, maybe I should create an array. Number of words array will be equal to s.split with respect to spaces. Okay, and then let's come back here. Here, the first element of this string here, this is a string. The first element is H, here is W, and here it's an empty space. So basically, if I loop through this array and I find an empty space somewhere after splitting, it means the original string never had the correct number of spaces. Or basically, if I want to count exactly the number of words in this array, I have to filter out everything that is an empty space. How can I say that? Well, let's just count the number of words that are here. It's a live session, so I'm thinking while coding. Let's just count. So here there are 3 words, and one of them is an empty space. Okay, so the number of words is split dot length. I split and then I count. Now the number of spaces. Now that one is a little bit tricky. I think I need to let me resplit this one. I need to resplit the character basis. Sorry. I want to have each character so that I can count. You see here there are 2 spaces here, so that I can count them. So it's gonna be s dot split like this without space, and so when I split, it's going to give me this array. Now I'm going to filter out just the spaces. I'm going to filter for every character if the character is equal to a space character, and then I'm going to count. Okay, and then I'm going to see if this minus this equal to 1. I can do a simple if else, or I can just do a boolean expression minus number of spaces is equal to 1. It's just return. Let's see. Right, we got it. So let me break it down one more time. This counts the number of words, and this counts the number of empty spaces, and the difference between them is supposed to be 1. That's it. Alright guys.